Imagine training your entire life for one moment, one night, one chance, and then, in front of the whole world, everything falls apart. This is the story of Ilia Malinin, the most dominant figure skater alive, the man they called the Quad God, the athlete who did something no human being had ever done before. And yet, at the 2026 Milan Olympics, none of it mattered. But to understand what happened that night, you have to go back to the beginning. Ilia Malinin was not supposed to be this good this fast. Born in 2004 to two former professional skaters, he grew up on the ice before he could fully run on land. His parents were not just coaches, they were architects of a machine, a skating machine built for one purpose: greatness. By the time he was 17, people in the figure skating world were already whispering his name differently, not like a rising star, like a force of nature that hadn't fully arrived yet. And then, in September 2022, it arrived. At the 2022 CS Challenger Series in Oberstdorf, Ilia Malinin landed the quadruple Axel in competition for the very first time in human history. 4.5 rotations in the air, clean. The crowd did not know whether to cheer or hold their breath. Even the judges looked confused because nothing in the rulebook had prepared them for this moment. That jump, that single moment, changed everything about what figure skating was supposed to be. What came next was not just success, it was domination. A streak so relentless, so consistent, that the sport started to feel like it was designed for him. 14 victories in a row, World Championships, Grand Prix finals, one after another. Malinin didn't just win, he redefined what winning looked like in this sport. And heading into Milan 2026, the question wasn't whether he would win Olympic gold. The question was by how many points. NBC called him the favorite, the skating world called him inevitable, and Malinin himself, quiet, focused, almost eerily calm, said nothing. He let his skating speak. But sport has a brutal way of reminding even the greatest athletes that nothing is inevitable. The night of the men's individual free skate in Milan, the arena was full, the world was watching, and Ilia Malinin, the Quad God, the world record holder, the man who did something no other human could do, stepped onto the ice and fell. Not once, not in a way that could be brushed off or explained away. The program that was supposed to crown him instead crumbled beneath the weight of expectation. He finished eighth at the Olympics, an outcome so shocking that the silence in the arena lasted longer than the applause. Kazakhstan's Mikhail Shidorov took the gold, and the figure skating world stood still. How does something like this happen? How does the greatest skater of his generation, a man who had won 14 consecutive major titles, collapse on the biggest stage of his life? The answer is not simple, and anyone who gives you a simple answer is lying. Some say it was the pressure, that the weight of being called inevitable crushed something inside him that night, that the expectation of a whole sport, a whole country, an entire generation of fans became too heavy to carry onto the ice. And then there is the nature of elite sport itself. The margin between greatness and disaster at this level is razor thin. A quarter inch of blade, a fraction of a second in the air. The same jump that makes you a legend can destroy you if the timing is off by something invisible to the human eye. And then there is the cruelest truth of all, that sport does not reward history. It does not care about your 14 victories or your world records or your quadruple Axel. It only rewards what you do in that moment, that one night, that one program. Malinin knew this. He has always known this, which is perhaps why what happened next was even more remarkable than the collapse itself. 3 weeks after Milan, 3 weeks after finishing 8th at the Olympics, Ilia Malinin stood at the World Championships, and he won. His 3rd consecutive world title by nearly 23 points. Dominant, clinical, unstoppable. The comeback was so fast, so decisive, that it raised a question the skating world is still debating. Is Ilia Malinin, despite the Olympic collapse, still the greatest American figure skater of all time? Consider what he has done. The quad Axel, still the only human being to land it in competition. 14 consecutive victories before Milan, 3 world championships, records that may stand for decades. And he is 21 years old. Nathan Chen won Olympic gold. Clean, perfect, a champion when it mattered most. And that performance, that legacy, will never be taken away. For many, the Olympic moment defines everything, and by that measure, Chen stands alone. But Malinin's ceiling, the technical heights he has already reached, and the heights still ahead of him, suggests a career that is not finished writing its story. Here is what we know. The 2026 Olympics did not end Ilia Malinin. It complicated him. It made him human in a way that pure dominance never could. And in sport, the athletes we remember longest are not the ones who never fell. They are the ones who fell and showed us what they were made of when they got back up. The story of Ilia Malinin is not over. It may have just become more interesting. What do you think? Does one Olympic collapse erase everything he has built? Or does his return at Worlds prove that he belongs in the conversation for the greatest of all time? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more stories like this one, subscribe, because there's a lot more to come.